Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. And tonight, we've got the Indiana Pacers playing against the Washington Wizards. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony. Chris Webber is here, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. And with us tonight, basketball expert Bill Simmons. Bill, you look great. Thank you for being here.
I'd like to say hi to all the people who traded for Anthony Davis in the GM mode of this game to get him on their team.
Right.
When their real team couldn't pull it off. Congratulations. I can't believe you pulled the trade off.
DA, take it away.
Well, Victor Oladipo has a huge task and a long road in front of him making his way back from that knee injury. But you talk to his teammates, and they rave about his mental makeup. They say he's an incredible person, great to be around, the most positive guy they've ever played with. So, Kevin, if anyone can come back from this, he can.
You better believe it. Outstanding, David. Thank you. Miles Turner, the lengthy big man for Indiana, challenges shots. We know that, protects the rim well. The jump shot of his is not too big.
Yeah, and sometimes he has these little moon shots in traffic that I really like. He is the X factor for this Pacers team. They need him to become not an all-star, but a borderline all-star, somebody that can eventually be like a 19-9 type guy. Oladipo needs a sidekick. Turner, the pieces are there. I haven't seen him been able to put it together yet. He's also like 14 years old,
Yeah,
so there's
so young.
plenty of time.
And now Washington starting group. Thomas and Beal teaming up in the backcourt. Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. And it's Bonga in at the 3 slot. And for Indiana, Oladipo is the 2 with Warren playing small forward. Sabonis and Turner up front. And it's Brogdon in at point. Now here's Sabonis. 6 on the shot clock. And the shot by Warren, no good. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to Charlotte. Hachimura, no good. Now the Pacers with it. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Wizards team.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
And we'll see what, or if anything has changed this year. Maybe it's still a matchup of the haves and have-nots. Or maybe the playing field's a little more even.
Brogdon. And the layup's good off the glass. Brogdon's got his team on the board to start the game for Indiana. And the Oladipo injury last year, many teams would have folded losing an all-star like that, but head coach Nate McMillan refused to wave the white flag, got his team together, they played a little bit differently, and they survived.
They did, and I think the biggest reason they survived is they're in the Eastern Conference. And it's a lot easier to survive when you're in the same conference where Orlando goes like 22-11 to end the season.
Yes.
I was impressed by the fight they had, and you really saw in the playoffs like how little talent they had. You know, they were kind of hanging around those first couple Celtic games. And then you have, like, Wesley Matthews taking the game-deciding shot. And, you know, they really were scrappy, and they definitely overachieved for it. To lose your best player when you have no other all-star on the team and still make the playoffs and do what they did, I thought was impressive.
Shows you how impressive it can be to have a player like Oladipo who plays both ends very well.
Right.
But the importance of an all-star on that team is
Yes.
you can't make the postseason without it.
And actually weirdly good for him to get a taste of not being there. And sometimes guys come back from that, and they're at even a higher level.
Here's Oladipo after the made shot from Bradley Beal. Oladipo, the pass to Sabonis. Shoots over Beal. They get it again. The Wizards have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. To the wing right side. Here's Hachimura. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket.
Just 1 for 5 from the field now. I mean, they've come out flat. They need to pick up the energy.
That one goes. Count it. Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16-seed no-conference playoff format years ago. I think they were really worried about the travel, though. And they've looked at it, and they've really studied it, and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1, and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff, and it's a 2-2, 1-1-1 series. What is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West, which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences, and I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better.
Yeah.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw. Bill, you're a basketball historian. We know that. Do fans romanticize too much about the past?
I would say the other way. I think they don't appreciate it enough, especially like the millennials and Gen Z. You know you're out there. You're playing this game right now. They tend to think the league started when Kobe showed up and that the 90s and the 80s didn't happen. I sense a real resentment from the younger fans with the LeBron versus MJ thing because LeBron's their guy. They get to watch LeBron. They don't want to hear that MJ was better than him, so they make the case for LeBron and the way things are now.
What about like the Oscar Robertsons, the Elgin Baylors? And you talk about, my goodness, you talk about some of these players. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the
fantastic
60s,
numbers.
70s, 80s.
Oh.
I think part of what hurts is people can go on YouTube, and when you watch some of the older stuff, nobody's playing defense.
For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the Hornets in Charlotte. Terrific assist, a nice finish, solid play all around.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Oladipo outside from deep three-point range. Washington with the rebound. Bryant's got 6 rebounds in the game. It's stolen by Oladipo. And here's the fast break. Oladipo leading the way. Doesn't go for him. Good work defensively by Bryant. And Bill, we've seen more and more teams base their offenses around three-point shooters. Threes are at an all-time high. We know that. Should the NBA, that in mind, do anything to address this via any rule change? Which I don't know what that would mean, but it has been talked about.
I don't like changing. I think it's going to manifest itself with it doesn't work in the playoffs as well. And teams are going to slowly realize like that you need to blend an inside-outside game at least a little bit.
Well, you can't lose what the game is.
No,
it's bigs and smalls, it's inside, it's outside.
And it's still passing and unselfishness. The Warriors take a lot of threes, but they're the most unselfish team we have, and they create a lot of layups, and they play, they're really creative. And you just can't, that just can't be your thing is we shoot 53s, here's our offense. The problem is you're still going to get in these games where 2 points really matters, and that's what you saw with Kawhi in the playoffs last year. These games slow down, it's going to be a 92 to 89 ending, and your team needs to get 10 baskets in the fourth quarter. No matter how you're going to get them, you still need somebody who can do that too.
Warren, good.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there. Beautiful.
Wizards trail by 8. Outside, Beal. We've got 1:18 left in the first quarter. Back to Thomas. Shot clock at 6. Over Oladipo. And another miss by Washington.
Oh, he found the open space from mid-range. Just maybe rush his release a little bit.
Outside Warren. Pass to Sabonis. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
Let's see how they play the clock.
There's 37 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Oladipo against Brown. Left side, Beal. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
Oh, you love how Bill rises over the D. He loves out-muscling them at every time.
Now, here's Oladipo. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Charlotte. It's Brogdon on the wing. Good on the three-point shot. Brogdon's got 11.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. I mean, he's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
And so it's Indiana, ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Back to the action after this word. One of the most dangerous scorers in the game, Bradley Beal spoke about the trust Coach Scott Brooks has in him and his teammates.
I think the biggest thing is he's still young, so he tries to think he's still hip. He keeps up with us a little bit, but he grants us a lot of freedom. He allows us freedom on both ends of the floor to be leaders.
Allen Beal trying to grow as a leader and a star. Has to love that.
Yeah, and Brooks known for developing good relationships with his players. He pushes them, but he gives them a lot of praise as well.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
So this is how the floor looks for the Wizards starting the second. We've got Davis Bertans. Brown out there with Ish Smith. Then it's Thomas Bryant. And it's Miles in at the 3. Now here is Smith over McConnell. Here's Bryant. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
That one is off. Bill defenders are doing a better job of challenging the shooter from the side so they don't foul and don't step into that landing space when he comes down from shooting.
Yeah, I don't like the landing space. All that stuff, like
what would you call
load management. We have all these phrases now. It's like, how did these phrases come in my life?
Load management is interesting.
Load management's the worst. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Can we just play basketball?
Just rest.
What's the thing they call when the guy travels, but they say it's not? It's like he's gathering the ball. That's another one.
Gathering the
Never
ball.
said gathering the ball in my life until 2 years ago. Enough with the weird phrases.
Yeah. Now here's McConnell. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Oladipo against Brown. Pass to Bitadze. Here's Oladipo. Bryant with the rebound. Bryant's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Smith the pass to Bertans. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Sabonis. Mo Wagner's checked in for the Wizards. Brown the pass to Miles. Smith up top, guarded by Oladipo. Knocks it loose. That's in, and the Pacer lead is cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Smith. And from everything we're hearing, Bill, the draft's one and done aspect may be coming to an end. Like it?
For me, the G League is the key to all of this. I would like to see the guys come right out of high school and go into the G League and have an actual infrastructure that's attached to the
The
coach.
G League is having an effect on the NBA. There are a lot of former guys from that league playing in the big league.
And the other thing is, like, sports rights are becoming more and more valuable with the streaming services and just the fact that you can watch a game anywhere you are. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it if you're in China. You can watch it if you're in Hawaii. And I think the G League should be a bigger thing. So if they can figure out a way to kind of steal college basketball's corner with some of this stuff while also preparing these guys. The one and done, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand what anyone gains from going to college for 5 months and then pretend they're a college student.
You just can't find the touch this quarter. He's got to keep grinding, though, and looking for the best shot possible.
McConnell passes to Bitadze. Over Smith. And the Pacers tack on 2 more.
give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, and it's because of the looks they're getting. Their offense is creating some great opportunities.
Now, here is Smith. Passes it to Miles. Rebounded by McDermott.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And, Bill, when you yourself get out on the court, is there a play you try to channel or emulate, you try to visualize in your mind?
You mean when I'm playing pickup?
Yes, yes.
Oh, now, at this point in my life, it's Davis Bertans. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Davis Bertans.
Davis Bertans?
Yeah, yes. By the way, what a great stroke. I mean,
I emulate all stretch fours who don't guard anybody.
Yeah.
That's who I am at this point in my life. I run from three-point line to three-point line.
You stay in the perimeter.
Yeah.
Don't tangle up inside.
My free throw attempts are 0 because I don't go to the line.
Just fire away.
And I want you to know I'm there to make an open jump shot. And don't ask me to do anything else, please. I'll set some picks.
You are. You're a great screen
I'll set some
setter.
picks.
You're a great pick and roll guy. Leaf checked in for the Pacers. And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
Well, Ish has made a lot of stops along his way in his NBA career, but it's a credit to his fortitude that he continues to work and, more importantly, improve every year.
Now here's McDermott. Back to McConnell. And there's the pass to Oladipo. There's the 3. Bryant with the rebound.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
And Miles kicks to Smith. Back to Miles. For the 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Miles has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. McConnell with it, working on Smith. And once again off the mark by Indiana. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for the Wizards. Down by 12. Here's Brown. He can't get it to go. Nice D from Oladipo. To the middle. Bitadze with the bucket. Bitadze's got his second bucket.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they're pouring it on right here, trying to give the opposition no light at the end of the time.
Here's Brown, following the score by Indiana. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Friday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons. And then on Sunday, they'll tip off a road trip starting in Orlando and going up against the Magic. And there's a minute 45 left now here in the second.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the defense just enough to keep him out of rhythm. Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. Smith the pass to Miles. Back to Smith. Pass to Miles. Lets it go with a 3. A rebound by Bitadze. Bitadze's got 4 rebounds now tonight. So much for stopping by. We always appreciate.
I want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I
They're
don't want
off
to see
the
that
schedule.
team. Let's do the other teams.
You know, Greg, Bill Simmons has worn so many hats as a writer, a podcaster, a broadcaster. Now, it's nice to let him wear one.
A game that you control for 3 quarters, but that fourth was just really an abomination in terms of how they played, and unfortunately, they took it out.
From deep. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Malcolm Brogdon was the man in the first. He had 11 points and 1 rebound. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from him? Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Malcolm Brogdon really making a difference here.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
Chris, middle of last season, plenty of drama around the AD trade request. Davis wanting to leave New Orleans. Some say all publicity is good publicity. But Commissioner Silver clearly does not agree.
Yeah, I don't agree either, and I think if you go back, the Lakers would say that's a self-inflicted wound, and some things are best left in the locker room. Let me tell you this, every team tried to trade for AD except the team that didn't have him last year and maybe the Golden State Warriors. So everyone was out there, it just wasn't the rumors, and so, no, you never really like those rumors. They affect young players, they affect the player that may be being traded for, they affect the home fan base, they affect everyone. So you want to try to keep all of that in-house. Some things are better left unsaid.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for Indiana, Brogdon and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. Sabonis and Turner up front. And it's Warren in at the small forward position. Shot clock at 5, and that one's good, Brogdon.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
And that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with the comfortable lead.
Beal can't get it to go.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Brogdon against Bryant. Brogdon the pass to Turner. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Hachimura. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect. Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the 3-ball in his last year of college, hitting over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor, he is really versatile, and I feel like he's putting it all together.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one.
Well, the Wizards last year, I mean, they struggled on defense. We saw that, which was a big part of why they missed out on the playoffs. Now, teams know it is a weakness, and that's something they need to address. This team knows it.
He doesn't get the second one. Chris, with the Wizards and their lack of defense, last season, it showed up in the numbers.
Yeah, Kevin, they were second to last in effective field goal percentage against in the league. I mean, that just didn't challenge shooters inside and out. No amount of offense can make up for that.
Here's Bonga. Hachimura, no good.
Might take them a little while to find their stride here in the second half. Only 1 for 4 so far. They just need to calm down, play their game. Maybe he's not a priority for the D, but come on, man. Gotta have somebody keeping track of him. Who got Beal?
Outside Bryant. Kicks it to Thomas. And it's blocked. And the foul on Miles Turner. That'll be his second foul of the game. Aaron Holiday's checked in for the Pacers. Davis Bertans checks in for the Wizards. Here's Bertans. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Beal. 6 to shoot. And that one's on target from the wing.
I like how fast Beal gets his jump shot off. Not allowing the D any time to read.
Pass to Warren. Off target at the rim. And so it's Bonga who brings up the ball for the Wizards. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Now, here's Brogdon. He's got 14. Outside Warren. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Fades back. Here's Brogdon. An easy 2 points on the layup. Brogdon's got 5 points in the quarter.
This system is set up perfectly for him today. I mean, it's allowing him to find a lot of good shots.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
And a player who flew under the radar last year, Malcolm Brogdon. Pacers wanted to add him over the summer. Got a hefty deal from Indiana to leave the Bucks. Exactly the kind of player that the Pacers need.
Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. Number 1, Miles Turner.
It happened so often. I'd say to myself, there's no way he can get to that shot, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and it go down as another block.
Thomas against Brogdon. Thomas, no good.
His offense has been non-existent tonight. It's really hurting him.
Holiday with it. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. Yes, that goes in.
Just a positive force right now for these guys, and though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Now, here's Brogdon. 16 points for him. Holiday, the pass to Brogdon. Beal on the double team. On the wing, Turner. Outside Holiday. 6 on the shot clock. Inside. And slam dunk by Sabonis. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 13 rebounds.
He's having a great night from the floor, and they're going to keep leaning on him, looking to grow the lead.
But they'll get another chance. Thomas passes to Bonga. The Wizards need to get a shot off here. Beal can't get it to go.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Warren, and a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got 4 assists now tonight. Up top, Bertans. 1:36 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Beal. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Indiana's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. And stolen by Thomas. Down low. Here's Hachimura. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Hachimura's got 6 here in this quarter. 1:11 left to play in the third. Thomas against Brogdon. Now, here's Warren. Tight defense on him. That shot is off. Washington's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Outside Thomas. The 3. Sabonis grabs the board.
They're still looking for his first points of the quarter. He's not doing anything to help them cut into the lead.
Here's Warren, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Bradley Beal picks one up. Greg, you talk about the quiet producers in the league. T.J. Warren is one of the first names that come to mind.
The last few seasons, Warren has come close to chipping in 20 points a game. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he just hits his shots and piles up the points on a nightly basis.
And he can't get the first one. And some changes here for the Pacers. Doug McDermott comes in for Sabonis. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Aaron Holiday. And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. And truly some significant roster changes for the Pacers this past summer.
Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. Warren. They've gotten younger and gotten better as well, if you ask me. Excellent work by the Pacers front office.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Brogdon against Beal. Out to Turner. Lets it go from deep. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got his 5th assist in this one. Now Beal. From deep three-point range. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's Indiana ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
No, that's quick decision making. You see a guy open, you can't hesitate. That's an outstanding play right there.
And with the 4th quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. 4th quarter on the court for the Wizards. We've got Ish Smith. Hachimura out there with Wagner. Then there's Brown. And it's Schofield in at the 3, the small forward. 5 on the clock. Pass to Leaf. From the wing. Here's Bitadze. And that's good. A nice job on the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Smith scanning the floor. Now the pass to Wagner. With his first shot attempt. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Troy Brown. Indiana's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Here's McConnell. Here's Leaf. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Leaf's got his first points of the night.
Straight up effort gets him those points. That's what it's all about on the offensive glass.
Here's Hachimura. No good that time. So Indiana will take it the other way. Most teams now look to run early and often, Chris. And there are some keys to finding success, aren't there, in the transition game?
Yeah, and the first key is you run fast and you speed up the pace, but that doesn't mean you hurry and take a hurried shot. Pacing and speed is all about getting it past half court to see if the defense is set, and if they're not, to take advantage. But it's a 2-step process. And for teams that just run all crazy or willy-nilly like my grandfather used to say, well, you're not going to do anything but play fast and bad.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
Oh, and they're showing no signs of letting up. I love this approach right now. They value each possession.
Now, here's Miles. And with the likely return of prep to pro prospects, Chris, some have argued for a high school combine to help determine who's ready to make the leap and who isn't.
I'm not really there with the high school combine. I still think that, you still have a level of college or a level of professionalism that can happen after. And I don't believe until you're ready to be evaluated for the pros immediately, should you have that combine. Your bodies are still growing. I talked to Jaren Jackson just yesterday, and he told me that he grew 2 inches over last summer. So I think it's a little unfair to judge these guys that early when their bodies and mentality still has a lot of development left. The switch flipped for him at halftime. Not a single point in the first half. All of a sudden, he's come alive.
Pass to Bitadze. And Wagner pulls it down. For Washington, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Now, here's Miles. Defense right on him. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while, right? I did not think that was going in.
McConnell scanning the floor. On the wing, Holiday. Defended by Miles. There's Bitadze, and they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Jakar Sampson's checked in for the Pacers. Aaron Holiday comes in for T.J. McConnell. Bertanis, he's checked in for Washington. Robinson comes in for C.J. Miles. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for them.
John Wall's huge Supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
Here's Wagner. We see the shift toward players on competing teams becoming friends. How does that compare to when you played, Chris?
It's a little bit different. The players that I admired the most, I wouldn't be friendly with on purpose. We were in the same position. A guy like KG, one of my favorite players ever. We're close now. But during when we played, it was either me or him.
Really?
It was both of us. I didn't want to hang around with him when I'm trying to beat him in the summer. But, you got guys like the Banana Boat crew and LeBron and Wade. They're good friends anyway. Melo and Bron came in 1 and 2, and they had that relationship. So I think relationships are always great. Really, it's just about can you turn the friendship off when you cross the line? I know that Banana Boat crew can, and I know others can as well. And that's all you want. As much as you're friends off the court, I want you to dislike each other on the court through your friendship, just like a big brother, little brother type of thing. So I don't think it's a problem.
Outside Holiday. Washington with the rebound. And here we go. Washington fast break. Here's Robinson. Good on the 13-footer. Robinson's got his first 2 points.
And pro move there. Finds a way to gain some separation against the much taller defender.
Yeah, showing that short area skill allows him to create some space.
Now here is Holiday. Pass to Bitadze. Over Wagner. Bitadze can't hit.
Even when the D is playing off of him, the mid-range jumper shouldn't be the shot they're looking for.
Smith against Holiday. And it's blocked. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. And Indiana making a change here. Sumner's checked in. And the Wizards making a change here as well. Chioza's checked in. 1:29 left to play in the final quarter. The three from Bertans. Hits it from three-point range. Bertans got 6 in the quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Pacers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And every win important, and this one will go down as win number 3.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Malcolm Brogdon.
He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Leaf, no good. And it's Washington's ball. They're on a 14-5 run. And here is Robinson. Here's Bertanis. Rebound by Sumner. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Victor, what does tonight's performance say about the confidence of this team?
Just we're pretty good. We play great together, and we play well together as a team. So when we do that, it's easier for us to beat teams.
Victor Wondermatha, thank you, my man. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.